What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. We got some hot breaking news. Some more partnerships slash team ups in the sports card world and the grading space. This time, COMC is teaming up with CGC slash CSG to allow you to submit cards directly to grading from your COMC inventory. They make it sound like it'll be a pretty smooth and seamless process to submit cards from your inventory to send off to grading. The grading fees will just deduct directly from your COMC credit. You'll ship the cards off, or they will ship the cards off, rather. CSG or CGC will grade them up, send them back, and then COMC will upload them into your inventory, and then you'll be able to either post them for sale, or you can have them shipped home if they're cards that you actually want in hand, depending on what your end goal is. So a few different interesting angles to take on this that we'll kind of dig into, and then we'll get into the pricing and stuff on it. Let's hit the sports card side first, because I actually think this is a lot more interesting on the Marvel side, to be honest, at least from my personal perspective. On the sports card side, I've said it a million times, I love the CSG holder for PC stuff. I could see me potentially maybe poking around a little bit on their inventory, seeing if I could find some cool things to potentially send in for maybe some 90s Indian stuff. Maybe some on-card autos I could get slabbed up to have those sent in. We'll see. I'll have to do some digging around, see what I could find, because like I said, I do want to kind of test this thing out. But they have, I don't know, what do they have, like 20, 30 million cards, I believe, in their inventory, so plenty of stuff to go sort through. I still haven't had a chance to poke around a ton on COMC. My order is there. It's waiting to get uploaded. So I need to dig in and kind of see, based off the scans, how good of an idea you can get for picking out raw cards to potentially send in for grade, specifically on the sports card side. Now, like I said, to me, the real interesting angle here is the Marvel side. The reason that I say that is because for those that are unaware, Upper Deck has their online e-pack system. Essentially what that is, you open packs digitally. I've done some videos on it in the past with Spider-Man Metal. Some of the cards are digital, some are physical. The physical cards go in your e-pack account. You could transfer those cards from your e-pack account directly into COMC. E-pack and COMC are tied at the hip. COMC handles a lot of the inventory management for that stuff when you're opening packs and all that jazz, is the way that I understand it. But you could transfer those cards into your COMC account, your hits. Most of the base cards are strictly digital, but the hits are actual physical cards that you can either list for sale on COMC or have sent home. From a grading perspective, the nice thing here is those cards have never really been in a pack, to the way I understand it. They haven't been really handled outside of a professional institution, I guess, for lack of a better term. No one sat at a desk and ripped the pack and had them thrown all over the place. They were immediately penny sleeved. They were all well cared for and handled. So as long as the QC is good, most of the cards should be in pretty good condition. It is essentially as pack fresh as can get. So I could definitely see an interesting angle from the Marvel card side of this, in regards to cherry picking some stuff out to send in to get slabbed up. So that already has my interest peaked. I'll be honest, I already have one card in inventory that I've actually had on my COMC inventory for a while. I bought it like a year ago that I think I'm going to send in for this. And then there is another card that Gwen that I've been looking at for quite a while that I might see if there's some pretty good ones on there and potentially send that in to get slabbed up as well. And then I have an idea on some other stuff too, but like I said, I got to poke around a little bit. So let's get into the details on this and the pricing. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the pricing here. We have CSG at the top, CGC down at the bottom. This is essentially, the turnaround times listed there as well. This is essentially a couple bucks more than if you would submit yourself. I believe, for example, bulk at CSG right now is $12 a card with their new prices that they just rolled out. Economy, for example, is $15. So you're looking at about a $2 to $3 charge on top for COMC to submit them for you. Down with the bottom on the CGC pricing, kind of the same thing. Bulk with CGC right now is $15 a card. It's going to be $18 through them. So a $2 to $3 increase for them to submit the cards for you. Depending on what you're sending off, the nice thing here is for the bulk, you don't have to meet the quantity minimums. You could just send whatever it is that if you have one card to send, you could send it at bulk through this. You don't have to hit the card minimums to send in. So it's a little advantageous actually on the lower end to submit this way. And also they're taking care of the shipping to and from, so you avoid those charges as well. So if you're just sending a handful of cards in, this has the potential to actually come out cheaper, even though you're paying slightly more price per card when you factor in shipping, insurance, and all the other nonsense. Plus, you're not able to use any supplies either. So keep that in mind. So not terrible pricing. It's not bad at all. So overall on its face, this all seems like a pretty solid deal all around. Seems kind of like a win-win. We'll have to put it through its paces, see how it works out, see how the turnaround times are. You know, they're estimating 8 weeks on bulk turnaround. I've sent stuff bulk to CGC, and I've sent stuff at Economy with CSG, and they all came back way faster than those estimated turnaround times. Obviously, they're going to under promise, over deliver on this stuff like they typically do, which makes complete sense. Once this is live and I have a chance to kind of dig around and look at some stuff, like I said, I think I am going to take this through its paces and potentially get some cards, send some stuff in, and see how it does. Curious to see how easy it is to submit in regards to the paperwork side of things. They make it, like I said, they make it sound pretty seamless. I haven't seen it with my own eyes yet, so we'll have to see what that looks like. See how the turnaround times are. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that say there's no way, you know, you can evaluate a card well enough on a screen to send in for grading. And I 100% get that. I did blind send stuff in with Star Stock back in the day on that one. And that was even trickier because you literally never saw the card. At least COMC does have the scans. That's the part I really need to dig down on and look at those scans and see if I can make some determinations on how things will grade. Surface is obviously always going to be the tricky one. I believe COMC does note cards if there's something significant on it. So that would be the only thing you definitely would not be able to tell. But centering, corners, edges, you should get at least a decent idea based off the scans. So we'll have to see how that works. But like I said, to me, the most intriguing thing here is the Marvel card aspect of this because of the e-pack tie-in with those cards getting loaded in the COMC's inventory, essentially pack fresh. That's the part of this that I think makes the most potential sense. There's definitely an outlet there on the sports card side too. But personally, I see myself taking advantage more of the CGC side of this than the CSG side of this. But I'm sure people will find a use case for both. So a very interesting partnership here. One that does make a lot of sense, in my opinion, especially from the Marvel tie-ins like we've been talking about. But we'll see what happens when it goes live. We'll put it through its paces. We continue to see these moves from these companies teaming up, partnering up, co-marketing, all that jazz, as ways to bring in new business to their respective entities. This, like I said, seems like a pretty smart one. We'll dig in, get some firsthand user experience, and see how this puppy runs. That's all I have for you guys and girls today. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.